Hey, hello and welcome back to Blue Mountain Valley Farm. So, where are we up to? You can see it's just after, a little bit after 9 o'clock. So, yesterday, after we stopped recording, I bit the bullet and I decided to replace this section of white grapes with some new vines. So I went out and I bought a plough, and then I felt guilty for buying the plough, and then later on had to do a contract using the plough. The only thing is plough contracts don't pay out a huge amount, so then I did a fertiliser contract after that. So I bought a plough, ploughed this up, leased a cultivator because I couldn't afford to buy both. So I leased a cultivator, cultivated it, got limed. It was limed and fertilised. It still needs another fertiliser to be done yet. And then I went off and I hired, I'll just quickly run over here. This gadget here to plant the vines, and the vines are all up, and I don't know if you can see them in this box. You can see them just lying there. So the only problem is that this piece of kit here, it wasn't designed to plant vines. It was designed to plant poplars, and it plants poplars in 2 rows, one sort of to the left and the right of that middle section there. So when I started using this to try and sow the vines, I really struggled to get the lines of the vines, or even to get a full row sown, because I didn't know which side. It only does 1 row, and it can come out left, right or centre. It's really weird. So after trying to do 2 rows, I ended up having to cultivate them back in again because they were just not good. I just had bits missing, or it wasn't good. So I did actually have to confess that I had to go and hire somebody to come along who is much better driver than I am, and to sow these in. So hopefully they'll be fine, and we'll get them growing tomorrow. I don't think there's any gaps, but we'll not know for sure until they start growing properly. It's very hard to see at this stage because they're really quite small. So yeah, so my money's gone a bit up and down the past couple of days. So yesterday I think we had about 50,000 when we finished recording, and then of course I went and I bought this here plough, which dropped the money down a bit again. And so I thought, okay, after I'd ploughed and cultivated that and done the liming, etc., I thought, right, I need to go and do some contract work. And so there's a field just opposite me here. This one just sort of here. So there was a contract for ploughing that one, so I ploughed that one, and then and I got 2-3 grand. Not a lot, as I say. Ploughing contracts don't tend to, ploughing and cultivating, there's not a lot of money in them. So afterwards, as I say, I did a fertilising contract, and in fact that same field that we did the fertilising contract on requires fertilised again today, because it's now gotten to another stage in its growth. So we're about to head up that way and do that field. I'll just put on the sat nav so I can hopefully see where I'm going. Hope you all had an enjoyable Halloween yesterday. It gets really quite dark around here because there's not much in the way of lights, and there's really no street lights. So, and I haven't put much in the way of lights in either around and about my house, so that's something that, again, it's another thing that's on the list to get done whenever we get any money. So yeah. So actually, hold on a second, I just need to quickly check something on my phone. Pull over where it's safer. So my plan for the day is probably just trying to get through as many contracts as we can, because the vines, well, the ones that I haven't yet changed up, they'll probably be ready for harvest tomorrow, which is fine, and so that gives me a chance to go and get some contract work done. Now, even though fertilising gives you the best money, again, being quite new to this, I would say my driving's probably not necessarily the best, but we'll see how it goes. I'm looking forward to the time when I can actually afford to have workers do this, employ people to do some of this contract work, and then just take what's left. But anyway, it's not a nice day there. The forecast there up in the top right says it's going to get a bit cloudy a bit later on, so that's okay. Right, the field we're looking for is field 17. So I'm just trying to keep an eye on the sat nav. As I say, I was up here last night, and they've contacted me again today asking if I'd do a second fertilizer stage. I think I can see it because it's a funny shaped field coming up. So let's look like it's actually ready for a second stage. Oops, I think I've gone past it, haven't I? I have. Oops. Ah, I see. Yes, it is. It's the crop's coming a bit now, so that's why I'm needing another fertilizer stage on here. So it will be of interest to me to see roughly, what kind of yield I now got off that. Those jumping out tractor while moving is never a good thing. Those freshly, I'll take that off, sown vines. And they've had, as I say, they've got managed to get some lime down and fertilisation. There's one fertilised state down, and yep, when they start to grow like this field is, I'll get the second one down, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. I think that'll be 2 to 3 days before, possibly before it's ready for harvest. Some biogas plant over there. I've got some massive bunkers in there, which we possibly, if we ever get around to doing any silage work, then yeah, we'll probably use those. Right, I'm looking quite high up here, because I need to see where the line is to try and get my tractor in the right place. There we go. Don't want to overlap in too much, because well, it becomes a waste of fertilizer, and this type of fertilizer, I have to say, is not cheap. So we want to maximize our profits as much as we can. By trying to get the best coverage that we can, so yeah. So I can't remember what other contracts there were. I was just kind of grabbing this one quick, you know, because I thought, oh, fertilizer contract. Let's do this and get a lot of money, and then it's all good. Oops. Oh dear. So I'd get not paying attention there for a moment. It is kind of hard to see sometimes where that line is, and yeah, probably not doing well. This is when I think, yeah, a worker would have been handy. And it might be something I'll consider. Okay, it'll eat into my profits a little bit, but it might be worth considering hiring somebody every now and again to do jobs like this that I'm not so good at, because probably what I'm wasting in fertilizer would possibly pay for somebody to actually do this for me. So, you know, it's I don't want too many gaps either, and then I'm going to try and find them again if I need to finish this contract. GPS would be a wonderful thing, but it's not available, unfortunately. I think put the radio on and see what we have. Yeah, I need to try and do a reasonable job, but it might not give me another contract. Yeah. Which would not be really good. I'm sure I did better in the dark. But yeah, if I'm honest, I think I'm going to have to really start thinking of getting a bit of help for some of this, possibly at some point. I think it's just more difficult to see once the crop comes in as well. See if I can get quite worried I'm not going to get the coverage that this needs to finish the contract. I'll have a look at the map and the PDA in a minute and see what we've got. See how bad it is. And if there's anywhere I need to go for coverage. Yay, it's just come up, we're finished, so we're done. We've done enough, thankfully, to finish the contract, so I shall go and collect. Right, okay, that was painful. Field 6 is also wanting fertilised. So, hey, let's see on our map in the PDA where that is. So we're basically not far from home. Oh, it's a nice, interesting shape of a field. Now I'm wondering, I've managed to possibly waste a bit of fertiliser. I just wonder if it might be worth popping home first and topping it up before I do that field. So yeah, so that was a goodly amount of money for that. So it certainly, hopefully, would have covered my fertiliser costs and given me a bit of profit still. I did wonder, when I was using that planter for the vines, the thing that's been sort of rigged up to do it, it has an allow create fields option, and I think that perhaps when using that, when you're creating new fields, it might be a bit easier to try and, well, I would hope to make a straight line possibly. Because it would create the field where the vines are going in, whereas just now it's like a guessing game as to which part of the machine the vine's going to come out of, so it makes it quite difficult to get a line in. Yeah, I think I'll top this up in the silo before I go to the next field. It's really weird, it is really quiet around here. You know, we are, I don't know if I realised just how remote it was going to be here. I mean, I do enjoy it, but it's also weird not seeing people wandering around too much as you get in some of the other, something that you become used to when you're working in towns and cities and stuff. But we have internet, it's fine. We've got a spare bedroom as well for family and friends who might want to come and visit. Now, I've already forgotten where this field is, hold on. From where I am, so it's back up there. And it's not, I don't know how I'm going to quite get to it. I wonder if I'll just cut, I wonder if I can cut that way. Because otherwise it looks like I'm going to have to go up. Let's see if we can come up to 27 and cut over there. It's not a road that goes directly to it, so we'll have to go off-road. And also with the shape of it, I'm not quite sure what the best way is to actually do it, unless I just deal with it like it's a field of two halves. Let me see. here, I think. Yep, it is. I keep jumping out. Oh dear. Switch that off now. Okay, let's try and go in a semi-straight line. I'm really struggling with this. I think I'm gonna hit a button and take a hit. Let's go inside. If I have a look. Shouldn't really, but let's do it. Oh, it's ploughed as well. Oh dear. Yeah. My lines aren't good. So I've sneaked a worker in, you'll never know. Just imagine that it's me. So this contract is worth, yeah, a little over 6,000, so it's not bad. Animal dealer transporting. Alright, okay, it'll just be items I would suspect rather than animals. Field 5 needs fertilising. Sowing. I haven't. Well, if I'd sow, I'd actually just have to use the sowing. It's got, okay, sowing field 10. Sunflower. Field 7 is quite a small one. Trying to find a... Okay, we'll see what else we come up with. I'm thinking of maybe trying to get something a bit nearer home because it's easier then if I have to go for lunch. I might take that large sowing contract and have a go at sowing. I'll have to buy the seed for it, so could be expensive because I don't really do any other, I don't do any sewing myself of that sort anyway. Might not actually be financially a good thing for me. Let's look again. It's quite a lot of sowing. There are other fertilising contracts, but cultivating, as I say, cultivating and ploughing, not a lot of money. The thing is, all these sowing contracts are likely to turn into fertilising ones, but I guess if I get some seed. Take a sowing contract on, buy some seeds. I can always use it for other contracts at a later date. We'll go with that, I think. Definitely is nice around here though. The air is really great because, you know, there's hardly any vehicles around at all, you know, a few farm stuff, you know, and that's about it. It's not even another house within the area, I don't think. Not that I've seen anyway, but as I haven't explored everything as yet. Oops. I don't think the radio is the best out here, but it's not bad. And it's there we go. A little bit more money in the bank. So I think I'm going to have a bash then at, where was that big one? It might take me the rest of the day to sow it. Oh, that's not going to work, is it? I sort of messed that up, sorry. Because I needed to accept the contract with their stuff. Okay, what's the next? Okay, it might come back. Hopefully it'll come back. Field 16. Just remind me not to do anything in field 14 because that was a bit weird field up there. Field 16. That's the one we've just done, right? It's the one we're just finished doing. So it's become available. Okay, borrow items. Oh, that's quite a small sewing machine for a field this size, so that's going to be interesting. What is this? No, 16's no, we've just done 6. Good grief. Is it small? Is it small? Where is it? Where is it? 16. Anybody see a field? 16. 15, 14. 16. Still a big field for such a small little harvester. That's going to take us a while, I'm afraid. And I'm going to probably need more seed than it can carry. Right. I think I've got to go pick up the stuff. I don't see, I've just gone and gotten myself lost now. Is that enough? Pick up the stuff. at the shop. So we'll drive up there in a minute. Why don't we just drive up in this? I don't suppose it matters too much really, and if I drive up in this and the fertilizer contract comes up and we've still got time, then I'll probably do it. I should stop for lunch, you know that. Okay, we're going to go and have a very quick lunch then. I'll just fill this up since I'm going by. I'll have a very quick lunch, 15-20 minutes tops. Oh, that's it. Okay. And then we'll go and collect the stuff we need for that contract. Open the door. Right. Okay, we'll see you in about 20 minutes. Don't need sat nav in the house. Right, okay, let's go on up to this place, up to the shop and pick up the stuff. Starting the engine would always be a good idea. Right. I didn't even pay attention to what kind of tractor they had actually for that sewing machine. I am kind of concerned that whether or not I'm going to have to make a couple of trips to fill it up as well. Oh well. So I haven't got anything to transport it in, and I don't want to hire an auger wagon, because again that's just going to eat into profit. So we'll park this up at the shop then, and head on over. Where, I mean, I guess the thing, when we have contracts in which you know, there's more than one vehicle needs to be taken up, will probably be easier. I should have put sat nav on. Be easier to have them delivered to the field or the area itself, but for these ones it's just a one tractor, so it's easy enough for me to come and pick it up here and purchase some seed. We'll see how much that's going to cost, because I've not yet done that, so I've no idea what it's going to cost. These parking spaces are kind of narrow, given that most of the vehicles that come out of this area are very big. Right. I don't think this will have. It's not because it's got, oh yeah, it's got built-in weight on the front. Okay. So I think this may have, it's got seed and fertilizer, but we are contracted to sow wheat. We're not contracted to fertilise as well, so that's all we'll do. We'll fill it with seed, and we're not going to fill it with fertiliser. Alright, it's a shame that yeah, it's not a lot of seed. That's not gonna, it's very unlikely it's going to last me the time that I need it to. Right, so this is Stara, I think it is, this tractor. It's, guess that's one good thing, well, interesting thing when you're doing contracts and using the farmer's own vehicles. You get a chance to try out different stuff. You can see that it's got some wear and tear on it as well, and the cedar probably does too. So right, so this is a sizable field. I don't think there's no guidey lines on this, so they probably thought that's quite small cedar, why would you need guidey lines on it? Because it's me driving it. And look, I've already gone squint. Right, at least I've got the right crop on it. Just thought I better check, and I suddenly realised, oh, yeah, wheat, it did say wheat. I'll double check when I actually check. Gonna get paranoid now. Right, yeah, wheat, fine. Switch that off now. Okay, we've had a nice grass line there to keep us sort of straight, but we'll see just how straight we are. I'm quite glad we're not too far away from the shop, because yeah, we are definitely going to have to refill this. You know, at some stage I'll either have a, you know, I may have a seeder myself, or, you know, I can, or you know, able to hire an auger to top it up in the field, but for now I just got it run up and down to the shop, to the little sell point down there for stuff. Am I actually far enough over? A jazzy sounding song in the background. It's quite nice actually. So I've been looking at the cost of, you know, getting the basics for sheep pasture, and it's actually not too expensive, but as I say, it's the land that's going to be the main expense. I'll cost it out. It's not really, I'm not doing very well here for gaps again. Oops. See how it goes. Nice bit of blues. One of the things I'm actually thinking of trying out, because I've not, is, because it is warm enough around here, is sugar cane. I've heard that it can be a bit of a pain when it comes to harvest time, but I've not really seen any growing around here yet. Certainly I've seen cotton, but cotton, it's you know, you get a lot of money for it, but the layout's, you know, well expensive, and the machinery is well expensive. So, you know, I don't really want to spend that kind of money. I don't think, but I don't think sugar cane's quite as expensive. I'll have another look at it to see what we might be looking at. Potatoes is another one actually. There is a really good decent sized potato harvester. It's expensive, don't get me wrong, but it's one of the biggest I've seen, and I think it's, again, it's sort of been cobbled together from other things, but it's well, it's what it looks like. Mind it, there we go. So, and I did see a YouTube video that Not Yet Dead did using that piece of equipment. So yeah, so I might try it out at some point. Again, I don't think I've seen, I'll have to have a look, but I don't think I've seen many potatoes on this map at the moment. But I would, if we do get a contract for harvesting potatoes using one of those, using that modded harvester, I'd quite like to try it out. It's quite a good way of doing it. We'll see what happens. I'm still trying to get the hang of this sewing lac. Yeah. I think that might have been a bit better this time. Marginally. I think there needs to be a bit more of an overlap than what I'm expecting it should be, so might get a hang of it by the time we're finished. Right, I'm gonna just check the time when we get up to the end of this, because of course this is gonna be a bit boring for you to watch all the way through. So we will probably, when we get to the end of this, pause this video here and we will either do a bit of time lapsing or not. It's going to be quite a long time lapse if I do, I'll just come back to this field a bit later. Okay, so give me a second. It's all about the time, and yeah, we will catch you in a bit. Doing that field took quite a bit of time and quite a bit of the day. I'm not sure, given the size of that sewing machine, it was actually a good way to spend my time, but it is what it is. Field 16's another load of fertilising again. A few fertilising contracts popped up, which is good. 19, I'm just wondering if there's any around 19 I guess is maybe the 18, 19. They're all near where I am, I think. 18 and 19 are up there, so I'll go see if I can do those two. Very quickly. Oh, I better accept it before it disappears off the list. We'll do... oh, I think it may be... 21's round there as well. It's 25. Okay, 19. Accept contract. I've got my own gear. We've got a full tank, so we're sorted. Right. It's 20. Sorry, I'm already forgetting where I'm actually going. 20, so 18's up past here. I think I'm on 19 now. Ugh. If I had a memory, yeah, 19, so I think that one's right, here we go. Field 19. Oh, oh for goodness sake. Oh my goodness. We are actually getting towards being out of time. We haven't actually got that much left. Weirdly, I don't think anyway, if my timing was right. Yeah, it took a long time to get that field sewn with that tiny little machine. I don't think I'd take up a contract with such a large field with such a small machine again. Because if I had a decent sized sewing machine, I probably could have got it done in at least half the time. And then I would have had more time to do more contracts, such as the fertilising ones that have all popped up. But I'm probably going to continue working a bit longer. I will have to get some dinner, but I think it'll be quite late this evening. I think I'm going to try and keep going till about 9 o'clock this evening anyway. Maybe a bit later, just to try and get as many contracts in as we can and get that money up. My loan interest came in at 2.5 thousand, 2,500, 2.5k, yeah, 2,500 there. So that, thankfully, that's mostly covered by the money that I get coming in from the little wind turbine. So I think the wind turbine in the 24-hour period will give me 2.4k. So yeah, and then we have just currently just £100 in tax. So yeah, I think overall I'd have been down a couple of £100 in outlays, I think, in terms that you know, that isn't covered by the turbine anyway. So you know, I think we're going to be okay, thankfully. But I would like to get to a point where I could start paying off some of that loan, but yeah, we've a ways to go yet, because we still need some equipment, as I say. So so it's all good. Radio 70s Radio FM. James Taylor. I even know who that is. It's still quite a bit to show you. I mean, there's down by the river, and of course I still haven't been over into the woodlands yet. But I'm hoping at some point to get a horse. The horse isn't that expensive. It's actually just getting somewhere to put it that's going to be the cost. Just so that I could take the horse and ride around the woods. So hopefully and eventually we'll get to that point. As it would be, I think this countryside lends itself really well to horse riding. So yeah. So I don't know if 18 is still active. I think it disappeared. Oh no, there it is. Okay, hopefully if that's still active when we've finished this one, we'll jump right on there, which is what we need. Some dodgy 70s music, so good. So, as I say, tomorrow I expect to be harvesting the vines again, the older ones, and then maybe at some point soon. Actually, I need to return that machine before midnight, or otherwise it'll charge me a small fortune. I'll get the other ones resewn, but I really want to see how the new one goes in terms of yield, to see if how much it's worth doing. Although I'll probably have to do it anyway because they do need to be replaced. You know, these vines are getting a bit on a bit now, so yeah. Just do them a bit at a time. We'll get there eventually. Okay, I'm probably going to refinish this contract soon, which is good. I don't know. What's that funny corner bit here, I've got to see. Maybe sometime. I'm getting really confused now. Lights normally come on about 7:30. Am I right on the edge of this? I guess I am. And the contract is done. them up. Oh, good grief, stop. Okay, so I'll quickly collect that in because we have to before we can activate. Oh, field 16 to come up as well. But we'll quickly jump to. I'm a bit worried if we're going to have enough stuff to do 18, which is just right next door, yeah? That way. Oh. Put my inlets on a sec. Head on over to field 18, so. And then we'll probably do field 16 after this one. But for now, we will call it. Actually, I should actually just check where we are time wise. Ooby-dooby-doo. Yeah, we'll give it a couple more minutes, I think, and then we'll call it. I'm not timing things at the moment because I'll be back. When the lights come on, we'll go and call it quits, which has just been about 2-3 minutes, I would expect. So I will say goodbye now, and thank you for watching, and hopefully you've enjoyed it. Can't say it was probably one of the most exciting things for you, but hopefully you have enjoyed what you have seen, and thanks again for watching. Bye for now, people.